Hello all you happy chaps, Desmond here, and today we're going to be looking at all the new features in the new 1.3.3 update, which has been named, at least by me, the Sandstorm update. So, instead of just a whole bunch of small videos showing off just little bits of the update, I thought I would make one big video just showing off all of it, just so you don't have to go all around YouTube looking for a whole bunch of different videos just to find all the features and stuff. So, now, I had planned to originally start this episode off showing you the sandstorms, but I can't. I've been waiting for 5 hours to try and get a sandstorm, and I haven't found one yet. Get out of here, you! So, hopefully, I'll get lucky, and one will happen while I'm showing you the rest of the features, but I wouldn't count on it. So, hopefully I'll be able to just put in some footage of some sandstorm afterwards, because it's ridiculous. I've literally been waiting for 5 hours. It's kind of sad. I know I can get them in this world, because I have gotten them before. This is a 1.3 world, but that doesn't matter, because I have gotten all of the new stuff from this world. I've gotten the sandstorm on this world multiple times, but for some reason it's just not showing up today. So, anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the new stuff. So, with the sandstorm added and stuff like that, there are also new drops and a few new weapons and items and things added into the underground desert and things. So, let's just look at the new items first. So, first thing you're going to want to look at are the weapons. The first item that we're going to be looking at is the Mandible Blade. Now, this is a sword that has a 1 in 50 drop chance from, I'm fairly certain, all antlions. So, like, antlion charges, I'm fairly certain the flying antlions, there's a gold coin there, and the regular antlions that just set out in the ground and shoot you with sand. No, these aren't the base stats because I'm wearing armor and things. But yeah, so 22 melee damage, 23% critical strike chance, very fast speed, and very weak knockback. The thing that's good about this weapon is that it's auto-swing. Very few weapons in early pre-hard mode are like that. Whoops. Accidentally dashed through them. But yeah, it's an alright little weapon. It's actually kind of powerful for when you can get it in the game. Well, this is with endgame gear, so it's probably not as good. I'd probably put it at just below the katana that you can buy from the traveling merchant. So, on single target you can get up to about, let me see, you can get up to about 70 DPS, not almost 80, but again, endgame gear, so it's probably going to be around 50 to 60 DPS. But yeah, like, you can deal with even mummies and things with it, so, but you know, multiple target DPS, you can get it up to about 250, but again, endgame gear, so that's probably going to end up around, I don't know, probably about 200. So, that's the Mandible Blade. On to the next weapon. So the next weapon is the Sky Fracture. This is a magic weapon that is crafted with, I think it's 16 Souls of Light, 2 Light Shards, which are a semi-rare drop. They're sort of an uncommon drop from light mummies. They may have made them drop from other things, but I'm not quite sure. Actually, they may drop from the hallowed ghouls, actually. And this is what it does. It's a magic weapon that summons swords. And it's very, very cool. I really like this weapon. It's been said that this is kind of a magical version of the Clockwork Assault Rifle. I guess I could see that. It is a burst weapon, so it's pretty nice. I really, really like it. It does decent damage, 55 magic damage, 31 critical strike chance, very fast speed, strong knockback, and uses 13 mana. So, it does actually use quite a bit of mana, you can't really use it too much. Then again, I am just using melee armor, so single target DPS is right around 450. The summoning of the swords is a bit random, so sometimes they do just spawn inside the ground there. Let me regenerate my mana right quick. The swords also do not pierce, so you can't really do more than single target DPS. But yeah, 450 DPS right around, almost up to 500 if you're lucky. It's quite a nice little weapon. Haven't really tried it out in the whole progression of the game, but I imagine it would be quite helpful. So the next weapon we're going to be looking at is the Onyx Blaster. This is probably one of my favourite weapons, just period. This is really, really cool. So this is a shotgun. It's crafted with 10 Souls of Night, 2 Dark Shards, which drop from Dark Mummies and the Corrupted Ghouls. and it's a shotgun that fires bullets and a rocket. As you can see, it fires a big old purple and black projectile that explodes on impact and does quite a large chunk of damage. I really like this weapon. It doesn't have the fastest fire rate, even with Unreal, but that's perfectly okay. The rocket does have a bit of a short range on it. As you can see, it doesn't even get to the edge of a screen on 1080 resolution. But yeah, it's pretty nice. So, single target DPS, you can get it right up to about almost 1,000 DPS. That's pretty good. Standing in the large crowd of people, though, you can get it well over 1,000, up to 1,300. It's pretty crazy. Hello, Pinky. Let's test this out. I'm currently using crystal bullets, so that does assist the DPS quite a lot, because as you may have heard from me before, or possibly Derpo before, oh god, is that crystal bullets are the most powerful bullets in the game. No matter, like, I have yet to see anyone prove me wrong. They're just, crystal bullets are the best. So, yeah. Really, really like the Onyx Blaster, and it will probably be incredibly helpful for Ranger playthroughs and stuff like that. Probably very effective against, the Destroyer and stuff. So, next weapon is a bit of an odd one. This is the mythical, sorry, it's not the mythical, I've just reforged it, it's the Spirit Flame. So, this is, if you've ever seen those Dark Genie type enemies, they spawn in underground corrupted deserts. They're kind of rare because of that, and well, actually, once you actually get a corrupted desert, they're quite common. But this is basically, it gives you the same attack that they have. You just summon these weird purple flames around you, and if an enemy gets too close to them, then they home in and explode. The damage is actually quite hefty for when you can get it. It's 123 magic damage. Now, that is a mythical one, but still, that's quite a lot. It does use quite a bit of mana as well. It's a very odd weapon. I'm not sure how I feel about it, because the flames don't really last long, and you just kind of have to get lucky with them, because the placement of them is completely random, as you can see. Can't really show you how much DPS you can get up to, because they don't actually hurt dummies. The only reason those were because they were trying to get to this vulture here. So just like that. So I would assume the DPS is probably around 300 or something like that, but as you can see, they just don't hurt dummies. That one did for some reason. See, that one's touching a dummy and it's not actually doing anything, so not really sure how these work. It's very, very odd. Not a big fan of this weapon. So, how this one is crafted, I'll put it up on the screen, actually. So, I won't actually have to, make a fool of myself. And it's also made with a Desert Spirit Lamp. This drops from the... I don't actually remember what they're called. The Dark Genie enemies that, this attack is based off of. So, it's pretty interesting. And with that, I guess we can show you the Desert Spirit Lamp, which is... It's just a crafting material, but you can also place it on tables and stuff. It's a nice little genie lamp and stuff like that, like from Aladdin. Well, it's not specifically from Aladdin. Actually, it is. Just not the movie, but, whatever. So yeah, that's the Desert Spirit Lamp. It's a nice little decorative item, and also used to craft the Spirit Flame. Don't really like the Spirit Flame. It's a cool idea, I suppose, and it looks really cool when you use it, just with that purple flame trail and stuff, but I'm not sure how viable it will actually be as a weapon, so, moving on. So, another item that has been added is this, the Ancient Cloth, and so this drops, it's got 1 in 15 chance to drop from ghouls, this enemy right here. So it's pretty common. It's not as common as something like the Rotten Chunks. You may have to kill quite a lot of ghouls to get them, but it drops in from like 1 to 3, so you won't have to farm too long. And so what this is used for is this set here. This is the, let me check right quick, the Ancient Clothes. So this is actually what the female variant looks like. I've put down the mannequins instead of the actual mannequins, because you'll get to see what the male version looks like when I wear it. Let's quickly take off my dye. My armor looks so weird without the dye. So, this is what the vanity set looks like. It's just a vanity set, doesn't actually do anything. Each piece is crafted with, I think it's 5 ancient cloth per piece, and then you use regular silk to craft each piece. So, yeah, it's a nice little outfit. Can't really think of too much use for it. It looks pretty cool, I guess. One thing I do notice is that the helmet sort of looks like Pharah's helmet from Overwatch, if you've played that. So I guess maybe you could make a Pharah outfit with this. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, so that's that vanity outfit. Now, other items that you can find. These are forbidden fragments. These drop from a certain enemy in the Sandstorm event. I won't be able to actually, I do have some footage of me finding one of those, so I guess that footage will be up on the screen now. As you can see, it's a big old sand elemental, and what it does is it just sort of floats around and summons tornadoes that hurt you. It's not terribly tough. It's essentially the desert's version of the ice golem. It has the same sort of spawn rate, and it always drops these forbidden fragments here. Just like the ice golem drops the ice cores. It's got a 100% drop rate on these, and these are used to make... Oh yeah, that's right, so the Spirit Flame actually uses 2 forbidden fragments in its recipe, so it's the Spirit Lamp, the Magical Flame... no. So it's the Spirit Lamp, Souls of Night, and Forbidden Fragments. That's right, that's what you need to make the thing. So, the other thing that these Forbidden Fragments are used for is to make the Forbidden Armor. This is the counterpart, the desert counterpart to the Frost Armor, because, you know, the Ice Golem gives you the Frost Armor, and the Sand Elemental gives you, you know, the Forbidden Armor. So, let me go ahead and equip that right quick. So, the set bonus gives you this nice little Forbidden Rune that spawns behind you and looks all nice and amazing. It is Summoner and... I think it's... What is it? Yeah, Summoner and Magic. So, it increases magic damage and minion damage by 15%, increases maximum mana by 80%, and increases the maximum number of minions that you can have deployed at once. So it's pretty nice. And the set bonus, double tap down to call an Ancient Storm to the cursor location. I didn't actually know about this when I first crafted the armor set, but if you double tap down, then it summons a tornado, one of the tornadoes that... the Sand Elemental summons, and it damages enemies. After it does a certain amount of damage, it will actually fade away, so you can't... It's not, like, the most useful thing in the world, and it will also just fade away after 15 seconds, so, you know. So it's a very nice-looking set of armor. I really like the colours on it, and the pixel art is just phenomenal, once again. The little rune behind it is also fantastic. The rune changes colour if you dye the chest plate, just like most armor effects, so... That's really, really cool. This is a very, very nice piece of armor, and I really, really like the look of it. So, yeah, and the tornado is super cool as well. Probably not the most helpful thing in the world. It does suck up a bit of mana. Let's see how much mana it sucks up. About 20, so that's pretty cool. You can also only have one tornado out at once, so, you know, it's cool, but not very useful. Moving on, let me see. The next thing. Let's do the Lamia set. So, you may have seen earlier there was a snake lady just sort of roaming around on the ground here. If you kill them, they have... Now, this is actually a guess. We don't really know the drop rate of these yet. I'll check the wiki when I'm editing this and put in the actual drop rate if I'm wrong, but it appears that the drop rate is the same as the Hoplite set, the Roman general type outfit. So it seems to be a 1 in 59 drop chance, or 1.67%. Again, that's speculation, it just seems to be that way. I would assume it's got the same drop rate as the Hoplite's vanity outfit. So yeah, on the female set, it gives long hair and some bandages on the front, on the chest. So, equip it in the vanity slot. For a man, it actually does short hair and you go shirtless, which is really cool. I've actually always wanted a vanity outfit that lets you run around shirtless for a while, because, I don't know, it just looks cool. So yeah, one thing that I would like to report is with Jim's leggings, because Jim's leggings actually give your player a cape. If you wear the Lamia wrappings and Jim's leggings at the same time, the cape actually overrides the player's chest, so it sort of just makes you look like your chest is invisible. Which I guess is kind of cool, but it's also really weird, so just a little bit of a bug. I'll probably make a thread or something on the forums to report that, but because I don't think anyone's actually going to see much of this video. But anyways, yeah, that's the Lamia set. It's a very, very nice set. It's a bit rare. It did take me quite a while to find that and the Lamia wraps. Look at the item. That just looks like a pressure plate, so finding that took me a very long time. It was ridiculous. It was actually on the ground for a really long time. It was on the ground for like a half hour, and I just kept farming because I didn't see it, ever. So yeah, I picked it up now, I finally picked it up, realised what it was, put it on, and it looks awesome. So, moving on to the final few items. Alright, so the next item is something called DJINN'S Curse. At least I'm fairly certain that's how it's pronounced. This is a 1 in 30 drop chance from the Dark Mummy enemies. Once again, the same enemies that the Spirit Lamp drops off of. And so what this does, item tooltip is grant slow fall in exchange for your feet. So in the vanity slot, it just gives you genie legs, which looks super cool. You just have rocket legs, essentially. It's really, really nice looking. And of course, it's purple and gold when you don't have any dye. So yeah, that's really cool. Oh yeah, and it seems to change the flight sound of rocket boots and things if you're not actually wearing wings. Interesting. I'm not quite sure why that happened. But yeah, so that's Jin's curse. I really like that. Oh wait, no, that's right. So if you actually put it in the armor slot, then it will give you the feather fall debuff. Or buff, actually. It's not a debuff. So yeah, you fall slowly, you jump extra high. It looks really, really cool. It's a nice little item. Probably not the most useful, because you're going to want to wear armor in there. It doesn't give you any defense or anything like that. It just gives you that nice little infinite feather fall buff. So that's really, really cool. Quite like that item a bit. So, anyway. Last few items. There are these magical sand droppers. So now in the underground desert, you can apparently find, like, sand dripping from ceilings and stuff. I haven't actually seen it. But these can be crafted with a empty dropper and any sand block at a crystal ball, just like the rest of the liquid droppers. You can just place them on the bottom of blocks. Or maybe not. I don't know. They're not actually... They don't seem to be appearing. That's weird. Maybe you have to actually place them on the bottom of a sand block. So let me go right quick and retrieve a sand block that won't actually fall over. There we go. Let's just get a hardened sand block. Come over here. Oh, get out of here, you! So many enemies. You know what? We're going to have to recruit Squirt. Squirt, do some work. Start killing some enemies for me. So, let's place a hardened sand block down. Maybe this will work. Well, it doesn't seem to be working, although perhaps we just have to wait for it. Not entirely sure. Well, I'm just going to leave that there for a little bit, but it's supposed to make some sort of sand dropping effect, and I guess it's supposed to look like sand dripping away. And... Oh, I think I just did it there. I think I missed it, but yeah, it'll do that. Just keep your eye on it for the rest of the video. So, the final item that this adds is the Ancient Horn. This is probably my favourite item from the entire update, right next to the Onyx Blaster. So, this is a 1 in 50 drop chance from basilisk lizards, or the horned lizards, or whatever you want to call them. They're called basilisks in the game, but, you know, they look like horned lizards. So, this is actually a mount. Actually, I already have one equipped. It's quite a common item, despite the fact that it's a 2% drop rate, or 50%... Oh, no, sorry. 2% 1 in 50 chance. So, it seems like it would be much rarer than it actually is. Not really sure why it's so common, but I've gotten loads of them. Anyway, so this is what the mount looks like. Actually, I've got some dye on, so let's take that off real quick. So yeah, this is what the mount looks like. It's very nice. I'll actually put the sprite up on the screen just so you can get a good look at it without a player on it. So, this is a very nice little mount. It's not the fastest. Its top speed is 41 miles an hour, so the Unicorn and Rudolph and all that are still faster than it. It's got quite a high jump height. It cannot double jump. The height is not actually as high as the slime mount, but, you know, whatever. Also getting a lot of mummy vanity items. I'm gonna go ahead and put the dye back on, just because you've had a good look at it now. So, the special thing about this is as you run, as you pick up speed, you'll notice that fire will begin to shoot from his mouth, which is blue because of the dye. But yeah, what that means is now you can run enemies over. The base damage for running people over is 90. But I actually have some extra damaging things like the menacing and stuff like that, so the base damage will be 113. One thing that I've noticed about this mount is that it always deals consistent damage. See, it always does 113 to these dummies, and if I take off all of my menacing accessories and all of my damage boosting things and stuff like that, then it will just do a consistent 93. Oh, 93, that's not right. I've still got... There we go. Let's take that off. See, 90. So it's really interesting. I think it might be a nice little tool to see how much defense enemies have, because it always does a consistent amount of damage, and you can always just get the base damage, and then just, you know, see how much damage it does to them, and then I'm not entirely sure how the defense works, but if you do, this seems like it would be a nice tool for figuring out how much defense enemies have. Maybe there's already something like this in the game, I'm not entirely sure, but that's just my interpretation of it, so... Yeah, that's pretty much everything this update adds. There's a few more things. One thing is that when it's raining, there's a blizzard effect, depending on how heavy the rain is. I'm actually going to go over to the ice biome and show you that, because it's currently raining. So, yeah. I'm just going to jump cut over there. Be right back. Alright, so as you can see, in the snow biome when it is raining, there's a blizzard effect, which is very, very nice. I really like this whole effect. It's pretty much identical to the sandstorm effect, except it's snowy. Depending on how hard it's raining, so right now it's just regular rain, it's just, you know, a decent blizzard. Heavy rain it looks a whole lot more like the actual sandstorm. If you're having troubles with this, like, tanking your frame rate or whatever, if you turn the lighting down to, like, retro lighting, then it will actually dissipate the particles quite a lot. So yeah, just a little bit of a tip there if you're having a lot of trouble with all these particles and stuff like that. We'll also do that for trippy lighting effect. You can change the lighting effect in the options or just by tapping F9. I like to keep it on the nicest looking settings. So yeah, hopefully I have put in some footage of the sandstorm by this point. I'll actually just put it in right here if I haven't done it by this point. Alright, so this here is the sandstorm. This is the main event that has been added to the new update, and it's, as you can see, it's very cool. It's an event that technically has a 1 in 6 chance of happening every day. It's about the same chance to happen as rain, although, as I said before, I had to wait 6 hours for this, and I actually had to tack on another hour and a half of waiting. So 7 hours in total to wait for this. It's not usually that long. The first time I had them, I only had to wait, like, you know, a few minutes, and then I got, like, 4 of them the day of the update. But, you know, yeah, I guess it's all just down to random luck. So yeah, this event takes place, it's just like rain, it gives you the debuff Mighty Wind, and as you can see, if you stand still, it just sort of blows you around and stuff, and it makes it slightly more difficult to move in the direction of the wind. It's pretty cool. So, there are a few things that happen during this other than debuff. First off, worms are incredibly aggressive. They move a lot faster, they spawn a lot more often on the surface. Other things that happen during this are, there are sand sharks, which you may have seen once or twice. I've killed most of them already. See how many worms are spawning? It's just ridiculous. I really like it. There's a sand shark right now. So they just sort of... They can only dig through sand, which I think is really cool, so when they touch any other block, they just bounce off it like normal. And then they just sort of swim around in the sand and then leap at you. They're really cool enemies, I really like them. And there's also variations for each of the different biomes. There's a Crimson one, there's a Corruption one, and there's a Hallow one. I'll put the sprites of those up on the screen so you can see them, as well as the regular sprite for the Sand Shark. So yeah, they don't really drop anything new other than just different coloured shark fins, but it's like the slime. You know how if you kill a purple slime, it'll drop purple slime, but it's actually just the exact same thing. There does seem to be a little bit of a graphical glitch, is that during the sandstorms and things like that, when it's nighttime, they turn red for some reason, but then when you actually pick them up, then they go back to their regular brown colour. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is in this sandstorm event. It's really, really cool, and of course it has its own music, which, oh thank god, it finally recorded. So yeah, music is really nice. It's probably my current favourite track in the game at the moment. It's going to be really difficult to find a replacement for a song that's this awesome, just because, you know, I usually have a custom soundtrack, but this update killed that soundtrack. But anyway, that is going to do it for the sandstorm. Moving on to the rest of the video. So yeah, that's the sandstorm. Hopefully I did a decent job describing it, because still been waiting, again, 5 hours and still nothing. Actually, by this point, it's almost 6 hours. It's getting a little bit ridiculous. So, anyway, there's actually one final thing that I want to show you, and that is, in the underworld and in the desert, there's actually been a heat shimmering effect added. Just a little overlay over the screen to make it look like it's really hot and stuff. I'm going to show you it in the underworld because it's always there in the underworld, and in the desert it's only there during the day, middle of the day. So I don't know if you can tell, I'll zoom in on Desmond here, just to hopefully get you a good look at the shimmering effect. But yeah, you notice it's all like shimmery, like, you know, like it's a hot summer day and you're looking at the hood of a car or the asphalt. And yeah, so it's just all shimmery and nice looking. I really like this little addition. It's very small, not even really noticeable. It actually took me a little bit to notice it, but it's such a nice little addition. I love little tiny details like this that just add so much to the game. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it for all the features in the 1.3.3 update. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, hopefully I managed to actually show everything off, and hopefully it all made sense, because that's kind of a problem I've had in the past, is not really making sense when I make videos. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode and all that. So, yeah, see ya!